everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So you want to move out of your parents' house but you're absolutely broke. Well, you come to the right place because I'm here to tell you everything that I did in order to have my own place at 23 years old. I get a lot of questions all the time about how I did it, how I'm able to afford it, what steps I took to save money, and all things like that. I figured that I would make a whole entire video on it, hopefully help some of you that want to move out of your parents' house or just want to live on your own. If you have roommates or whatever your situation is, it is absolutely doable for everybody. However, you have to make some sacrifices and you have to do the appropriate things in order to make it work. So if you want to find out how you too can live on your own, just keep on watching. The first thing you are going to have to do is literally take a piece of paper or go on Microsoft Word, anything that works for you. List every single bill that you have every month. Your gas, your groceries, your car payment, your car insurance. If you have kids, factor in their expenses, daycare, tuition, everything possible that you pay for. Phone bill, cable, everything. Write it down, and next to it, write the amount that you spend every single month on this bill. The next thing that you're going to do is you are going to call up every single company for that bill. So your cable company, your phone company, your car, like Geico, whatever you have for car insurance, and you're going to question everything. You're going to see if you can get your bills down, how you can do it, if there's a payment plan that you can go on, if they're having any promotions or deals, anything like that. A lot of times when you're nice and you ask kindly, they will help you out. So you're going to really just have to sit there and question, do I really need unlimited data? And do I really have to spend $100 on my phone bill every single month? Or can I get the 2 GB plan and cut it down to $70 or $50? And you'll be surprised how much saving, maybe like just 20 bucks a month, really does help you in the long run, and your bank account will thank you later. So question everything. Call up your companies, see what you can do to get those bills down to a minimum. Now, when it comes to moving into your house, you're going to have new expenses. Everybody, I'm pretty sure, needs Wi-Fi. Either you're a student or you just want to go on your computer or on your phone, something like that. So with cable, when it comes to that, my suggestion would be to get a Fire Stick, get it jailbroken or jailbreak it yourself. You can go on YouTube and you can look up tutorials on how to do so. And then you only have to pay Wi-Fi. And if you call a company like Frontier, they usually give really good deals, and you can probably get a good deal for like $25 to $30 a month on Wi-Fi. And then you won't have to worry about cable. When you have to worry about cable, your bill could be anywhere from like $70 to $125. And that's really just like not necessary. All you really need is a Fire Stick and a Wi-Fi plan. So that's my suggestion for cutting down your cable bill. Now, when it comes to utilities, the only thing that I can really suggest is to unplug everything when you leave in the morning. So say you go to work at like 9 o'clock or something. Take that extra 10 minutes before you leave the house to unplug your lamps, unplug the TV, unplug your computer, anything that needs an outlet, unplug it. We use 75% of our appliances in our house when they're just plugged in, not even turned on. This lamp over here that's plugged in and not even turned on is using 75% of its electricity right now. We just think that because something is plugged in but turned off, that we're not going to raise our electricity bill because it's not being used. That's where you're wrong. Now, let's go into budgeting. This is where it gets a little tricky. After you get your bills cut down to as much as you possibly can, and I'm also talking about like luxury expenses, guys, you have to factor in, if you're somebody that gets your hair done every single month and you think that you really cannot live without that, you are going to have to factor that money into your budget. And if it turns out that getting your hair done every month is not going to allow you to have the apartment that you want, then you're going to have to really determine your wants versus your needs. Do you really need to get your hair done every month? Do you really need to get your nails done every month? Do you really need to go out drinking every single weekend with your friends? Probably not. So in order to have a goal, you're going to have to sacrifice something that you want to convert that into something you need and then help you be successful. So you really have to budget. You have to look at everything that you spend every single month. Get the number. So say that all of your bills accumulate to $560 per month. You look at an apartment and say the rent is like $800. You're going to have to combine those two numbers, and you're going to have to make more than that number every month to make means and to survive. So I'm actually going to show you a little example on my phone right now. Say your bills accumulate to $597 per month. Add in $800 for rent, accumulates to about $1,400 per month. And usually when you move into a place, they want you to make twice the rent. So 800 plus 800 is 1,600. Therefore, if you're only making $1,400 a month, they're probably not going to approve you to move into a house that is going to ask for $1,600 for rent every single month. So you need to look at what you make. So say you make $1,400, take away your bills, $597, that's already $803 left. Now take $800 away, you're only left with $3. So that's really not leaving any wiggle room at all for much of anything. So what you have to do is you have to see if you can meet the rent appropriately, and if you can't, then you either have to downsize, look for an apartment that's a little cheaper, see again if you can cut your bills down, or get a roommate. Maybe you're moving in with like a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a friend, and then you can fraction that rent in half to $400, and then you're pretty much good. If you're moving and you really just feel like you can't afford it, maybe pick up a second job, maybe look at bartending or waitressing. That's not really a kid-friendly option. So if you do have kids and you can't pick up a second job, try to make a hobby into a side job. For me, for example, I like to do makeup, so sometimes during like wedding seasons or prom seasons, I'll pick up some clients, I'll do their makeup, and that money kind of helps me have a little bit of like wiggle room and some extra money to spend, so I don't always have to be worried about what's coming out of my bank account. Maybe you like to make bracelets, maybe you like to do hair, maybe you like to, I don't know, paint or something. See if you can make something into a little side business. That way you're getting that extra cash every month if you're unable to get a second job. I know people who have their own place, who have 2 jobs, have kids, and go to school, so it's definitely doable, like I keep saying, if it's what you want. Going back to saving, I definitely suggest not having a car payment, because if you have to worry about your rent, and then on top of all of that you have to worry about a $400 car payment every month on top of car insurance, it's going to be really hard for you to maintain your apartment and also to save money. I can't tell you how many people I sit down with and they tell me how they can't afford anything because they have a car payment. There is no reason on this earth to have anything that you can't afford every month. There's no reason to have a brand new shiny car that's gonna cost you $400 a month versus getting maybe like a 2010 used car that gets you from point A to point B, that looks decent, that is really good on gas and has good mileage, and you can maintain that and still have a little bit more money to spend every month. I've never had a new car in my life. I've always had used cars. They've never done me wrong. They're cheap to fix. They're cheap on gas. You have to look at it that way. Like I said, wants versus needs. Do you really need that new car, or can you wait until maybe you graduate school, you have a better paying job, and you can afford it? You have to live within your means. You have to look at everything and say, do I really need that, or do I just want it? Also, getting a car, a 4-cylinder, is definitely a lot better than getting a 6-cylinder, because with a 4-cylinder car, you'll probably be spending like $25 to fill it up, versus a 6-cylinder costs like $40 to $50 to fill up, depending on the car and the make and the model. Don't go by what I'm saying to a T. I know nothing about cars, but I definitely have had a 4-cylinder car, then a 6-cylinder car, and the gas difference is kind of like astronomical. So you definitely want to get a car that's cheap on gas, good mileage, definitely decent. Don't get something that is going to break every time you drive it, but something that is decent and manageable and that you can use. You do not need a new car. I'm telling you right now, if you're trying to budget, you have to pay rent, you have to pay your bills, plus a car payment. It's going to be very hard and difficult. And you definitely want to shop at discount stores for groceries, for hair products, for toiletries, all of that stuff. A lot of people forget when they move into a house that you have to feed yourself, you have to clean up after yourself. So definitely shopping at stores like Costco or BJ's or Aldi. That's where I personally shop, where you can get like really good deals rather than going to Stop and Shop and spending way above your budget. Definitely going to discount stores for groceries and appliances and toiletries and things like that is going to help your budget a lot. Also, when you go shopping, make sure that you map out your meal prep for the week. So basically what I mean by that is determine what you want to eat for dinner and for lunch for the next 7 days. Make a list of all the ingredients that you need and think about the portions. Like think about if you're going to need like 2 tomatoes or 3 tomatoes, or if you're really going to need that many apples. Like think about everything that you're going to need for what you want to eat that week, and then make a grocery list. I can't tell you how many times when I first moved into my apartment, I thought that I needed like so much more food than I actually did, and a lot of it actually went to waste, and that's money that is wasted out of your pocket. So you definitely want to make a list of everything that you need and try not to overspend it. 9 times out of 10, you usually don't need as much food as you think. So making a list before you go to the grocery store will definitely help you not overspend. And then when you go in those aisles where like things look tempting but they're super pricey, you'll kind of stay away from it because you'll be reminded that you have a list to stick to. If you want a little cushioning or a little extra money, that way you don't have to be worrying about the rent that's coming out of your bank account and living paycheck to paycheck, try saving a couple $100s each month and moving that into a savings account. That way, when you want to go like buy something for yourself or you want to like treat yourself or splurge, that money in your savings account is separate from what's in your bank account. So you know like, okay, like this is the money in my bank account. This is what's going to get taken out. But if I want to go out with my friends this weekend, have a couple of drinks, I could take $20 or $30 out of my savings account and that will not interfere with what needs to be taken out of my checking account. So having a savings and a checking is definitely a good idea, because I feel like when all that money is like piling up in your checking account, you're like, okay, I can go have a drink, I can go get my hair done, I could go do my nails because I have all this money. And then you look at your bank account a week later and it's like, oh my God, like I don't have enough money for my rent. So definitely having like a couple $100s in a savings account and being able to kind of pull from that when you want to treat yourself or splurge versus having it all in your checking account thinking that you have all this money when you really don't is definitely a good idea. Also, saving a couple $100 a month before you move out is also a great way to save money. Taking out a couple $100, putting it in a savings account. That way you know what you can spend for that month, and the money that you're saving to move out or to better yourself is in a separate account and that will not be touched. You do not have to go out every single weekend in order to have fun with your friends. Going out to bars, the drinks are super expensive. You'll spend $10 on one drink, when in reality you could spend $10 on like a bottle of wine. You could have your friends over, watch a movie, eat some snacks, make dinner. All these things are definitely a cheap way to kind of have fun. Say that cooking a meal is a lot cheaper than going out to eat. A lot of people that I know go out to eat every single day to McDonald's, to Popeyes, to Subway, and then they wonder why they're broke. You're spending so much money on one meal when you can spend, you know, like $80 on groceries and have meals for the whole entire week or for a couple of weeks, rather than going out and spending that $10 every single day on food that's not only not good for you, but not good for your bank account. Also, going out to eat at restaurants, you have to worry about tipping, and then again, the drinks are expensive there. So it's just a lot easier to limit eating out to maybe like once or twice per week, and then really just taking that 2 hours on like a Sunday or one day during the week, whatever works for you, to meal prep. When you meal prep and you have meals that you know you can come home to, it really makes like McDonald's and Wendy's, driving past them not so tempting, because you know that you have a healthy meal waiting for you at home. A lot of people my age also don't know how to cook. You guys, there's Pinterest, there's Google, there's no excuse not to know how to cook. There's YouTube tutorials on how to cook. And I promise you that once you get into the swing of things and once you start practicing your culinary skills, it gets a lot easier, and then you have like 5 meals that you've mastered and that you just know how to make automatically. So definitely learning how to cook, knowing how to shop, shopping at discounted stores, and meal prepping is something that is going to save you so much money. Guys, that is it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. I would love to make this into like a little mini series. I think my next video I'm going to explain to you guys like how to find apartments and how to find like good landlords and deals and stuff like that. I didn't want to put this into this video because it definitely would have been way too long. So if you liked what you saw, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.